I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I love you too much. I just want to start a great big flame down in your heart. You see, way down inside of me, darling, I have only one desire. And that one desire is you. And I know nobody else ain't gonna do.
I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I love you too much. I just want to start a great big flame down in your heart. You see, way down inside of me, darling, I have only one desire. And that one desire is you. And I know nobody else ain't gonna do.
I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I love you too much. I just want to start a great big flame down in your heart. You see, way down inside of me, darling, I have only one.
And oh, hang on, am I live? Oh yeah, I've got echo coming on. Of course. Hello and welcome to the channel, everybody. In fact, actually, let's bring it back to my beautiful big forehead for all of you to see. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for joining me again in today's video. It's a live stream, actually, I suppose, rather than a pre-recorded video. So, welcome to the live stream, I guess. Great to see all of my regulars in the chat already. So that's really great. Richie and Joe and others. And we'll do our hellos and how are you all doings in a moment. First up, I'll tell you what the agenda is for tonight's video. So, we are going to be talking about, of course, the overall market, because Bitcoin seems to have picked up a bit of steam today. But is it enough to get it, you know, back into that bull run mode? We're going to have a look at that today, of course, as well as Ethereum. We're also going to take a look at Cardano, because it's really at what I would describe a crucial point. The level of support it's at the moment could go either way, but there is some indications that it may be about to break to the upside. So we're going to talk about Cardano and, of course, talk about the Alonso upgrade and why that may be what is the catalyst to get Cardano moving in the right direction. But we're going to talk about that and probably more in the video tonight, of course, because you're all here to chat to me. So with that out of the way, those watching the video back, I will set up some bookmarks so that you can skip past me chatting away about random stuff. And for the rest of you, you're going to have to put up with me because this is live. So we're going to just do a little bit of a chat. Of course, if you are new to the channel, please do make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to be kept up to date with all the latest videos. And, you know, actually, if you're already subscribed, please do make sure you at least hit that like button for me and boost my ego. So, we've started already, and Twitch is down, apparently. So, we literally only just started running. Oh, no, Twitch is back up. Very strange. Ah, dearie me. I didn't even get far into the stream and technical issues already. I will be. I actually think I might have to change provider. It's just not good enough. But anyway, glad to see you all in the chat. Let me see who's here and I'll say hello to everybody. We've got Richie, of course. We've got Tokyo. Hey, Tokyo, nice to see you, buddy. I'm glad to see you in the chat there. Really glad. And we've got Joho as well. Joho, how are you doing? Good to see you all in the chat there. Yes, I guess we'll start with how has your week been, guys? Everything seems to be playing out the kind of way that I thought it was going to play out, in that not so much has happened. We actually had a pump in the price, but of course it hasn't really sort of taken us anywhere yet, and we'll look at the chart for that in a moment. But it's kind of gone the way I thought it would go, which is just to continue ranging. Now, looking at Twitch, I can see it is getting some playback issues. So, what I'm going to do... I do wonder if it's because I've updated the system to be 1080p again. That's probably what's causing it. It doesn't like 1080p. I don't think I can change it during the actual stream itself. Let me have a little look if there's any way to change those settings. Nope, doesn't look like it. Manage. Stream settings. That's not really me. No options there. Okay, right, so I will make sure that next time I reduce the next time I'll reduce the resolution. What's that doing there? Oh, it's saying I've got two. Oh, that's fine. All right. Richie says, missed some rises today. Yeah, some coins really did move, didn't they? But it does seem to be on the way, but not back down. But if we actually go over to, in fact, we'll just crack on. Let's, we're going to crack on with the video, I think, and we'll go over and take a look at Coin360. And I'm sure people will catch up with us as we go. So... bear with me. There we go. All right, so here we are. Okay, so Bitcoin down very, very tiny fraction today. Nothing to be concerned about. $32,244. It did pump quite hard this week as a result of it not staying below that 30k level. Basically that dropped to 29.5. Like I said to you guys before, I was a little worried, but I kind of thought to myself it was more than likely a fake out. Turned out that was the case. So we are now sort of sat at this 32,200 level today, and the rest of the market seems to be kind of not pulling back, not correcting in any sort of huge way, but just kind of hovering and kind of being a bit stagnant. Ethereum up slightly today compared to yesterday, but nothing really dramatic happening today. If we take a look, actually, then we'll go over to Bitcoin and see now it's just moved, and we're slightly above, slightly up by 0.01%. And now was 0%. So it's not, there's not much volatility today. But actually, if we look at the chart itself, we have a better look at what's going on. And so you can see there, this channel is just perfect, right? It is literally perfect. It's holding up very, very well. Now, interestingly enough, and I didn't bring this up on Monday, and I think it's just because we were too busy talking about all the rest of the stuff. But the RSI, now if you look, I marked on there the 43.86 level on here because it has been acting on the RSI as a sort of an indicator there. We could see it was ranging and broke below, and we're now back over that level. So what I'm actually thinking is going to happen this week, guys, or at least for the weekend, is that we're going to range again over the weekend. and that actually we'll see it happening on the RSI. Now, somebody was sharing with me something earlier, which was a chart that looked at the RSI particularly, and they were saying that this was a form of breakout. And I guess if I make that bigger, what were they arguing? Let me just see. I think it was over on the I think it was on the daily, but I think they were arguing that this was so. Yeah, I mean, you can see there what they were trying to say. Anyways, that was sort of a resistance on the RSI, and that was a breakout over that from this indicator. I'm not overly convinced, and like I said to everybody before, I am waiting for us to get back up over the top of this channel before I'm actually bullish about Bitcoin properly. That being said, though, one thing that's worth pointing out and keeping an eye on is the media and the news, right? We are getting a lot more positive news about Bitcoin again. I don't know if you've all noticed it, but the news for Bitcoin has been a little bit more bullish this week. Jack Dorsey getting in on Bitcoin, Elon Musk's tweeting again, and now of course Amazon is going Bitcoin, so they're looking at their own blockchain projects, and I mean they've been looking into it for a little while, but there's more talk about Amazon's own cryptocurrency again. So plenty of sort of positive news about Bitcoin again, and it does seem to be that the news almost leads the market in some ways, because it's the representatives from all these big hedge funds that come along and tell the journalists what they think is going to happen, and that drives the narrative. And so we do get the news probably starts becoming bearish before everybody else, I think, or bullish, and that's an indication, in my opinion. So if they start getting bullish about something, it means it's about to head up. As soon as they start getting bearish about things again, then they're obviously selling off and ready to steal all your Bitcoin from you. So I do think that that's the case. Anyway, news is that Bitcoin is looking more positive today at least, and if we can get ourselves up over that 50-day moving average, that would be really great to see. We certainly want to see ourselves get over the top of that level there of about 36,500. If we can get over there and at least sort of find support, then I'm going to be very, very bullish about Bitcoin. But as you can see there, guys, we're not in the clear yet, but this is really holding up as a channel. It's really, really strong. So even if we find ourselves rejected here on the RSI and we come back down, I think that this is still going to remain as a support. This is definitely accumulation, a really strong accumulation phase right here. Now, what I will say is Bitcoin, there's some other stuff as well with regards to Bitcoin that's really interesting too. So obviously we saw that with the sell-off, that they got the price below 30k but weren't able to keep it there. So the bears have not been able to do it. But it's worth pointing out that on-chain analysis has actually shown that there's still quite a hefty amount of Bitcoin inflows to exchanges. Bear with me. Okay, it's fine. So there is still sort of quite a lot of Bitcoin that's coming into the exchanges, and it does say here as well in the article, in higher time frames Bitcoin's price has started to show some green, but the bears have been relentless in their assault and could continue to exert pressure or to the downside. And if you go through it and have a little look at the actual info, you'll see there that it seems positive the bears have failed at pushing the price below its yearly open of around $29,000. This could be interpreted as a bullish signal. Just to be clear, Price has not done anything that is new so far in this entire range. It's what it isn't doing that seems relevant. The bullish argument is not that sellers are in control, but that they can't stick in the final knife. And I think that that's probably true. The news media has been pretty heavy on anti-Bitcoin stuff and FUD, trying to really sort of drive the price down. And it's not working. And the whales aren't able to push it down at the moment either. But just as they say, don't get too excited, because we need a bigger break and a break at a much higher level for it to return to its bull run. But the interesting thing here is that they are saying that what we could end up experiencing is a short squeeze on Bitcoin. And, you know, I've talked about on-chain data before, but CryptoQuant provides information about leverage ratio, and this is a metric used to calculate the open interest divided by exchange reserves of cryptocurrency, and that's reached levels seen during March and April. Thus, they claim that traders have taken short positions rather than longs, and the components for a move to the upside seem to be in play. So we are potentially going to see this short squeeze happen, and that could take us up to 40k again. And from there, we'll have to see what happens. My opinion, going on what the news is saying and, you know, what the analysts out there are saying and what we're seeing here in the market, is that if we do see that push up, it's not going to be this weekend, but maybe next week we're going to start to see that price climb up. It will find resistance at around 36k. We will need to see it break through that. And then possibly 40k is the next target for Bitcoin. Although, I mean, if you look here, it's probably between 40 and 41k. So that would be the next level of resistance, and quite likely that would be where we get rejected and then come to test this channel and see if we've turned it and flipped it to support. So I think that's what's going to happen with Bitcoin over the next week and a bit. And it's probably, it's like I said, over the weekend, probably more ranging. Probably will range a bit like we did here over this period between June and July. And then hopefully we will see enough volume coming in to get us up and to at least attempt to break over this 40k level, or at least attempt for 40k. If we could do that, then that's going to look, to me, really bullish, especially if we do come back down and find support there. I'll be ready to sort of go all in on trades and go long. Wouldn't be making any sort of rash decisions yet, because this channel has proven to be very, very strong, and it's just trying to hold Bitcoin in it as to, it's not letting it go. Now, we will look at, on the Bitcoin side of things, I think it's worth looking at as well, is this story here with regards to central banks have killed off children's savings accounts. Can Bitcoin resurrect them? And I know that most of you probably don't have kids. I do. But I found this to be quite interesting in the analysis there of interest rates, and basically, at the end of the day, it's not even just what the savings like for kids. It's if any adult or old people that want to have savings, this is the problem that they're facing up to. Twitch is playing me up again, guys. I'm sorry about Twitch. It's not good. William, thanks for joining us though. Really glad to see you there. I'm going to probably smash up this computer and my internet at this rate, and I'll be like a real Twitch streamer then. I can rage quit my live stream. I'm talking on so if you just joined, I'm just going to talk through this here about savings rates. It's such a sexy subject, but I just think it's really worth pointing out, because this is why Bitcoin is the winner long term, and it's going to head up at some point over the next week or two. We're going to head back up, and I'm feeling quite confident that we're going to get over this channel and hopefully range there and then back into a bull run. I think it's coming. You just have to look at all these news things like this. So here we go, talking about real interest rates for savings accounts. So for us Brits, it's minus 2.4%. For Americans, it's minus 5.15%. Okay, so you're actually making a loss on your savings because of inflation, I should say. So it's really, really not good at all. Whatever you put in that account is going to be worth even less by the time you get it out. And they make a good point here, which is, in this manipulated environment, the opportunity cost of holding cash is so great that individuals and institutions have little choice but to hurl their money at risk assets. Everything from dodgy business loans to absurdly cheap mortgages to overinflated stock markets. And it makes sense. You can't put the money into an account and leave it there. It's not going to do anything. You're going to lose money. So why not just, and this isn't advice, this is paraphrasing, why not just throw it at everything and anything you can that you think is going to make some money, and hope that one of them is successful. That does seem to be the attitude of not just individuals, but of course of institutions and banks as well, taking slightly more risky investments. And that kind of thing is the sort of thing that leads to, well, the financial crisis that we had in 2008, for example, was through risky, well, I suppose it wasn't just, but risky mortgages on properties that people couldn't afford, and then bundling them all together into those packages, which were risky investments as well. So I think that this is all indicating that we are going to be heading towards some form of crash. And Bitcoin, of course, as we've talked about many times, is the asset that decides to recover fastest. So it says, this is nothing more than a gamble that stability will return and COVID-19 will flutter away before lasting damage is caused by the profligacy. If the gamble pays off, central bankers will take all the credit. If it blows up and if a wave of insolvencies engulfs the world, devastating economies, they will reject all accountability. And that's because that's what they do. They're very, very good at that. And it does say here, when we talk about children's savings accounts, which is what the article is going on to, is that, they say here, in such a demented worldview, and it's not surprising that little Timmy and his piggy bank are seen as part of the problem. And that's why British kids are not allowed to earn more than 1% on balances above $3,000 in their sort of what they call a easy access savings account, and no more than 2.5% in a junior ISA that's locked away until they're 18. So the interest, the returns on these investments are pathetic, and it does say here American kids are clobbered even harder because of the higher inflation rates and the lower saving rates. So 0.55% is the market leader for balances over $1,000. And Alliant Credit Union describes that product, in which deposits currently lose 4.85% of their purchasing power each year, as the perfect opportunity to teach kids about money. I mean, it's just shocking, and it's going to probably get worse as we move forward. So, of course, what are people going to do? Well, they're going to start putting their money into other assets, and of course, crypto is going to be part of that. And we have seen some companies actually offering, obviously, Bitcoin and crypto savings accounts. So it won't be long until we see one that targets children's accounts of some sort, like a crypto ISA or whatever that is locked away for 18 years or something ridiculous like that. But those products are going to come into this market for sure. So guys, I'll just check in that you can see, and oh, come on. No, and that's why I'm checking in. Disappeared on, okay, no, I'm back on Twitch. Right, okay. And am I with you guys on YouTube still? Let me just check. Hopefully so. although it does look like it's not working properly. Fantastic. Every stream has been real problematic at the moment. Alright, well, that's fine. I am recording this, so I will put it out on I'll edit it and put it on the channel, and hopefully you'll be able to catch up with it. So yes, that's the kind of market for Bitcoin, and of course for crypto in general. We're kind of waiting to see what Bitcoin does. I do think that if Bitcoin continues to range in this channel, then we should start to see our altcoins recover some of their losses, and that would be good because we've obviously made, there's been some huge losses on these. I've 100% believe the bull run is not over yet, so let's just wait and see how it plays out. It's been bearish for a little while, but it's not been too big of a problem or too big of a deal. So Cardano, let's go and take a look at Cardano ADA, because this is what I wanted to talk about tonight. We did briefly touch on Cardano ADA on Monday, but I wanted to go into a bit more detail. Joho's in the chat there. I believe you. Moving smiley face. That's it, man. Have belief. And Richie's telling me, yeah, all good there. Good. I'm glad to hear that it's all working, because it keeps on cutting out my end, or at least it looks like it is. Oh, dear. Anyway, Cardano ADA. This is, as you guys know, I do like Cardano. I think as a project, well, I love it, right? It's a project that I really believe has a great approach. I like the scientific approach that they're using to it. And I know that me and the Crypto Pig team have been maybe a bit bearish about its price, but that's mainly because of the precarious position it's in at the moment with regards to support levels. Okay, and that's not because we don't believe in the project, it's literally because of what the charts are telling us. And that's where our main worry is. Now, the good news here is that we are at a point now, a juncture, where Cardano could see another leg up and head back towards those all-time highs, which is what we need it to do, because we need to get ourselves up at least a few more support levels away from where we are at the moment. Because let me bring up that chart. Because as you know, my main concern with Cardano is that this support level here of around $1 is the last decent support level we have before we would come back down to around 30 to 34 cents. So you can understand why we're saying, yes, we love the project, we think Cardano is amazing, but damn, this is a bit scary where it is right now. And of course, if you look here, we are possibly going to get that death cross on the 50-day and the 200-day moving averages. So there is a little bit of apprehension here about what's going to happen with Cardano. The good news, of course, is that we are on the road to smart contracts now. And I know we've made jokes about them with their smart contracts because it's taken them forever to do it. My only hope is that because they've taken so long to do these smart contracts or to add it, is that we get less problems when people start to launch their projects on Cardano, because they've put so much effort and work into getting it right at launch. Now, Cardano ADA has recently announced that it successfully conducted the Alonzo White hard fork, and that was a tweet that was posted just recently, and that we're nearly there for the rest of the for the next final stages of this upgrade, right? And I think I just heard the ping, so let me just quickly check out. Who was that? Ivory Shots. Hey, Ivory Shots, thank you very much. Ivory Shots just followed me over on Twitch. And what does that mean, everybody? So Ivory, we have a tradition on the channel, and you may want to unsubscribe after doing this, or unfollow after you see this, but every new follower or subscriber gets a dab, because I love the dab. I feel like I missed the dab when it was popular, and I'm trying desperately to bring it back, which is why it will never come back, because I'm trying to bring it back. But that's that's the tradition. So you get a dab, Ivory. Here we go. Let's go for it. Let's go for an over 9,000. Let's really ratchet up the cringe levels for you as well. Here we go, guys. Ready? It's over 9,000. Dab. You get the dab for following. Ivory Shot says, I used to watch your videos. What happened with your channel? Well, Ivory, what happened is that I got banned. I had a full-on ban from YouTube for ages, and it was not funny, but it happened, and I had to restart all again. Yes, oof, indeed. Yep. So never mind. It's we'll see what happens with this one. I'm being careful, and I'm following the rules, so hopefully I won't get banned this time round. But I do kind of blame it on Ben. I think it was Ben's fault that we got banned. But I blame him because he's not here at the moment. So that's my plan. Joe says, you're always popular. Seems like the pigs are resting with what's happening with the market. Yeah. Thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate that. It's just, yeah, it was unfortunate, and obviously we had, like, how many subscribers? Did we have over 10,000 subscribers? Or was it? It was nearly, I think it was nearly 10,000 subs, and then of course it all got wiped away, and YouTube wouldn't listen to me or the rest of the team and do anything. Because we weren't big enough to put any pressure on them, unfortunately. Richie says, I miss Ben. I miss Ben as well. I miss him a lot. But, the problem is that Ben is now too successful in the music industry. He doesn't want to spend any time with me. He doesn't want to spend time with me anymore. Joe says, is he really married? Well, Ben? Nah, I don't think he is. No, I don't think he's married, unless he's... No, he would have told me if he was getting married. I would have hopefully got invited. So no, I don't think he is. Richie points out here, Kylie or James, what a choice. That's it. So anybody who doesn't know, Ben is a good friend of mine and a member of the Crypto Pig team, and he was doing the live streams with me daily, and we would just go back and forward, have a good laugh, and he'd ask me all sorts of questions, and it was a good dynamic. I really enjoyed it. And but unfortunately for him, he went to go and work with Kylie Minogue. Unfortunate for him. He would have been better off staying with me, but Kylie Minogue won the day. So what can I say? I can't blame him, I suppose. But yes, never mind. Sad times. I'm gonna try and get him back on here, at least for sort of like a special occasion. Maybe if we can get Bitcoin back up to, if we get Bitcoin to break 68k, I'll get him on here for a celebration. We get ourselves back up for a new all-time high. I'll bully him into coming on to the live stream with me. I think that's gonna have to be the plan. Oh dearie me. So yes, where were we? We were cracking on with talking about Cardano ADA. So, like I said, bit worrying about the price where it is at the moment, and you can see there the death cross, and you see red candle day to day. It's quite likely we're going to come and test that support again. The RSI is still trending down. Looks bearish for the time being, but not not enough that I think we're going to crash through $1 yet. But the longer we exert pressure on that point, the more worried I will get for Cardano. But this is why the good news is, of course, that we've got the Alonzo White hard fork done. and that it says here it's speculated the network will be able to fully support smart contracts by September. Now, we could survive till September with where we currently are. I think that that's doable depending on what the rest of the market does. And I think that it will be a case of September, once that hard fork's complete, smart contracts will come. There is a lot of interest in Cardano ADA and in creating DeFi applications on Cardano as well. I have heard people criticize the fact that it's Haskell, and that because it's Haskell, lots of developers won't touch it because it's not an easy language and all the rest, or it's not, or it's, I suppose it's quite specialized and not one that most developers in DeFi have as a language that they know. And I get that. I think that's a fair point. And Twitch is playing me up again. Damn it. Yes. So I get that. It's a fair point that there is, that there is that barrier. But then you've got to remember that they are working on the Maslow programming language, or the Maslow programming tool that they've been developing, which is basically an easy way to create smart contracts on Cardano using it's a bit like sort of building blocks to create your smart contract. So there is this other option that's going to be there, which will be easier to access. But of course, yes, if you want to do anything really complicated with Cardano and DeFi on that platform, you will probably need to learn Haskell. So I do understand that resistance there, but I just think that there's such a big Cardano is such a big platform with such a big community. I just think that for a lot of people wanting to create DeFi, it's worth the effort, and I can see them doing that. Very similar to, of course, with Bitcoin and the recent Taproot upgrade, which is going to allow for smart contracts eventually to be built on Bitcoin as well, and people will do that, because there's enough money in these coins and their platforms and networks to make it worthwhile doing. And of course, you've got to remember that Cardano is actually fully decentralized as well now. So there's lots of really positive reasons why you would want to do that. And of course, it's going to be a new market for a lot of projects as well. So I think that is going to definitely be a boon for Cardano and ADA's price. It's as long as we can kind of keep ourselves afloat until then. And then, there are some bullish articles as well. And, people are pretty much saying the same sort of thing as me there, that on the upside, getting through $1.30 on the resistance will be vital to getting to $2. And they're saying the $1 fails, then the next place is a 60% crash on the price. But if you have a look at the chart there, they are counting the wicks in, but they're saying that it's a descending triangle pattern. And I mean, I will be just very cautious about Cardano for now with regards to where, I'm not going to be buying any more right now, is what I'm saying, because it's just very, very risky right now. And I've also got my long-term bags, which I don't want to sell because I do think that this has got further to go. And if we look at it there with that descending triangle, it is still at the top of a bullish move. So I mean, it could well be a bullish indicator. We've just got to be careful that we've got this potential death cross coming as well, and the rest of the stuff going on in the market. So it could really mean that it doesn't go the way we want it to. So just be very wary with Cardano. It does look like there's potential for a breakout over the next couple of weeks that could see us break to the upside. And if we do, it will be pretty impressive. I'm pretty certain that we will get back to the all-time high again if we do break to the upside. And And, you know, we could see that previously, yeah, all right, that's 110%. But if we look at previously, moves like that for Cardano are actually not out of question, are they? So it may well be that this all times nicely with Bitcoin getting back on track, and we'll see that breakout, and then of course have the price fly back up to sort of, I mean, it's mad when you think about it, $2.42. I think that we just need to hold on to our horses and just wait. I wouldn't be panicking to sell yet. I would probably consider some sort of stop losses, especially sort of around the 90-cent level, because if we do break down from there, you will be seeing a big drop as a result of that. And if it breaks down from there and goes down to the 34 cents, I would hope that we'd find support there, and then we would hopefully be able to start some form of recovery. But with a big drop like that, it would probably be a long while before it starts to recover. So we want to just hopefully see this breakout. But like I said, let's be cautious. We've got the potential death cross, and you know, we've got still you know, bearish on the RSI, and the market isn't really moving anywhere yet. And we saw that with Bitcoin. Bear with me. We saw that with Bitcoin anyway, guys, as well. So we just still in limbo, I'm afraid, but getting closer to some form of move. And like I said, though, with Cardano ADA, just to be wary. I was right about Litecoin. I was right about that when we were talking about that the other day. We did, of course, see it drop down to. We did, of course, see it drop down to 104, but it seems to have recovered since then, so it's not too bad. Joe's come over to YouTube from Twitch. Oh dear. Richie's there. Yeah, gone 9:30 to McDonald's Wi-Fi, getting busy. It does seem to be the case, I'm afraid, guys. It does seem to be the case. I'm getting a terrible Wi-Fi here at McDonald's. I'm sat in my corner again. I'm like, hey, bring me a milkshake. Oh dear. I am glad though that the weather is breaking now. I did feel like it was. Getting too hot for me. I'm not the biggest fan of super hot summers. I don't mind them, but I'm glad it's chilling out a bit now. Anyway, it's meant to rain tonight, so we'll see. As long as it doesn't rain too badly. There's been floods everywhere. Not so much in the UK, but seeing it in the news all over the place. Richie saying, yes, heat wave is over. Thank goodness for that. But Richie, now you have no excuse for your siestas. You're just going to have to admit that you like to have a nap in the afternoon. So that is the market in a nutshell. But as we've got a bit of time, I thought you could tell me if you'd like to see a chart, and we can try and do a quick analysis before we finish up. So if you'd like to see any particular charts, let me know now in the chat, and I will see if I can, if I can do it justice for you. It'd be interesting to see what coins you guys are thinking about buying up. If the Ethereum, we should definitely do that. So let's get Ethereum up. So yes, Ethereum needs to be looked at. Okay, so right, okay, so Ethereum actually looking very similar to Cardano in a lot of ways there, and just a little bit further ahead of Cardano. Obviously, we are going to get. Pardon me. I'm sorry about that. We are going to probably get that death cross there. Hey Ray's in the chat. How are you doing, Ray? Ray's asking if I can give a summary I will do, Ray. Give me a moment. I'll give you a summary of what's going on and recap of everything. Ethereum, we are looking at, of course, a death cross coming. Let's actually go into it on the 1 hour. Take a look and see what we're seeing here. Yeah, okay, so looking a little bit short-term bearish. And you can see that on the 1 hour, you know. It's going to be a really nasty chart. Sorry. So, forgive me for it looking nasty, but I'm doing it on the fly. Doesn't get to look pretty when we're just throwing lines on here, does it? Okay, so as you can see there, ascending channel, and it's broken out from there. Although it has found support on the 50-hour moving average, so it could well be, especially with the RSI, it could well be that we see it come back up. I think that there's two possibilities here. When we look at it on the macro view there, on the 1 day time frame, I would say that looking at it here, there's no indication yet for me that suggests that this price movement is going to take it back into the bull run. Okay, and you know, you can see there that it looks like it's not even going to get to that resistance level before it actually rejects and heads down. So we'll watch here, because if we do get over there, then maybe we could, especially on the 1 day chart, if we can get above the 250-day moving average, that would definitely be a bit more bullish. But looking at it here and then going over into the 1 hour where we've got that ascending channel, I would say that it's looking probably a bit short-term bearish. I think that what we'll probably see is it might go up, test this, and then probably come down back to the support level of around sort of 1,000. It's probably going to be around here, around $1,700. I think is probably the most likely scenario here, especially with that death cross. Obviously, as I've said to you plenty of times, the death cross is a lagging indicator, and you know, as a result of that, usually it's not that far off from being over, but the death cross is definitely on its way. So to see it come back down to around 1,700 is going to be probably very likely in the short term on Ethereum. And I think as long as we maintain support there around 1,700, then we're probably going to see a similar thing to Cardano, where it's going to actually range inside that descending triangle until around the beginning of September. And then we hopefully will see a breakout rather than a breakdown. The difference between Cardano and Ethereum, however, is the actual support levels. With Cardano ADA, you saw, and I'll part of the recap for you, Ray, is that with Cardano, there isn't very much support between the level it's at now and then a 60% drop. With Ethereum, however, guys, there is actually a lot more in the way of support below where we are. So you've got obviously 1,400 and you've got 1,000 next. I don't think that it's going to drop down there, to be honest with you. I think that there's just too much interest in Ethereum right now for the price to be pushed that much lower. I think we're going to accumulate now until the beginning of September by the looks of it, and that probably would tie in with Bitcoin, to be honest, as well, because it has looked like it's going to range a little bit longer on Bitcoin. So I will give you a quick recap, Ray, now that you've joined us. And Ray says there, lines don't need to be pretty long as the presenter is. Ray, thank you. You're making me blush, but no, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So I'll give you guys a quick recap of what we talked about in tonight's video so that it's fresh in your minds. We did start off obviously looking at the overall market and nothing sort of overly dramatic. Bitcoin's a little bit more up now since we talked at the beginning of the stream. And, our altcoins are down a bit, but nothing dramatic yet. And it's all sort of part of that ranging pattern that we've been seeing play out over the last God knows how many weeks. So nothing overly worrying or concerning really with that. Obviously, it'd be great to see gains every day, but we're not overly worried about it. And you shouldn't be either. We did quickly look at Bitcoin, and we were saying here with Bitcoin... Sorry. And we were saying here with Bitcoin, the channel's held up really nicely. It does look like we are probably going to continue to range over the weekend. I actually think, looking at Ethereum as well, and some of the other coins, that maybe the ranging is going to continue until September. There is some stuff in the news that makes me think it won't range for that long before we have a breakout, but I mean, it's looking more likely to be a ranging situation for a little while longer when we look at those other coins too. That being said, though, we were saying that bears were trying their best to push it under 30k, couldn't do it, and that there was some interesting sort of stats there, thanks to the info at Crypto Quant about the leverage ratio. It was saying there that right now it looks like there's the potential for a short squeeze, which could actually see us push to 40k. So it might be the next week we actually do see some upside to Bitcoin, and maybe we do head to 40k. And if we go to 40k, and then actually, as I was saying at the very beginning, it's amazing how quick I can do this once I've gone through it once. If we went to 40k and then came back and tested the top of this channel, that would be really bullish, and I'd probably buy some more Bitcoin there and go long. But I won't be doing it yet because at the moment it's just not enough going on for me to be confident on either direction. But I do really believe it will go up rather than down from here. So that was that. We talked about central banks. Basically, inflation rates are ridiculous, and because of that, savings are, your actual real savings rates are really, really terrible. It turns out that for Brits, it's minus 2.4%, and for Americans, it's minus 5.15% on your savings, which is why people will probably be putting their money into riskier assets, because they basically can't make, they can't make any money by putting it in a bank account. They lose buying power. Then we said about Amazon is looking at Bitcoin, and then the most important stuff, which was the subject tonight, smart contracts, obviously coming to Cardano. It will be hopefully launched properly. The whole Alonso hard fork will be finished with by September, apparently. And when we looked at the chart for that, we said that it is at a precarious level for Cardano right now, mainly because of how quickly it actually accelerated in price during that bull run, that we are at crucial levels at the moment. There is this descending triangle, potential for a death cross on the 200-day and 50-day moving averages. This usually is a good thing when we have an ascending triangle at the end of a bullish move, because it's normally a continuation. However, of course, we've got to be careful about this death cross, and if we do fail here, $1, if that fails, to be honest with you, even though we could find some support at 80 cents, I mean, I can't discount that. The likelihood is that we could pull back as far as 32 to 34 cents because of how quickly it moved up and the lack of support at those levels. So we are being very cautiously optimistic for Cardano. If we do see a breakout for Cardano, it will be in August, though with the rest of the market it could well be that we see it range and everything happens September. There you go, that's your recap in a few minutes. Hopefully that's been really helpful to you all guys. I won't take any more requests now because it is Friday night and it's already just coming up for 10 o'clock. And yeah, I had a long day. I was in London for work today, and I can't stand London, I'm afraid. Not to be a downer on London. It's okay. I mean, we were in a different part of London today. We were in Soho, which was actually all right. It's got a nice park there, and then Chinatown's around the corner. So I didn't mind that too much, but it's just so busy all the time. And, you know, I prefer the countryside. So hopefully, guys, you enjoyed that stream. I really enjoyed doing it. I love doing the stream for you guys. And I will be looking into getting a new internet provider because the stream quality is seriously messed up. Ray, it's RJR. Okay, that makes sense. Nice one. Yeah, well, that's the problem as well, because we've got all these different accounts everywhere. Everybody has different names. Nice. It's really good to see you again, mate. I'm glad you're here on the stream. Thanks to all of you, as you know, as always, and also just a quick sort of thank you to Ivory Shots for rejoining us here on the channel. RJ, you missed out on my dab, because Ivory subscribed or followed us and got a dab. You missed out on that, but don't worry, you might be able to see me do a dab next time round. Ray says, RJ says, subbed on both accounts. Brilliant. Richie says, good timing, Twitch. See you, everyone. Hopefully James will get this fixed for Monday. I will. I'm going to try and sort something out over the weekend. I will look at my frame rate and my resolution, because it might be that I've got it set too high and that's what's causing the problem. I will look into it, because it's been consistently a pain in the bum. And I'll also probably set up, I've got that because I've got this Wi-Fi hub thing, I forget the name, router, big expensive one with all the prongs on it. I shouldn't have any problems. It does come with this software called Circle or Home or something, where you can actually turn people's devices off or like turn off their access. So I'm going to set all the kids up on that app, and then I'm going to switch off their internet for Monday's live stream. I'll have lots of kids crying and screaming and shouting in the background of the stream, but we will have a brilliant signal without any interruptions, at least on the streaming front. Oh dear. Richie says, yeah, just lower everything. We don't need you in glorious HD, really. I know. You see, my beautiful face in standard definition is still beautiful enough. I get it. Oh dear. Alright, guys, hope you all have a great weekend, and like I say, we'll catch up with you all on Monday. Take care, and I will see you all next time. Bye.